All right, so welcome to another rapid fire business story of the week. This is part of our rapid fire series, and today we have an incredible guest with us, someone who's achieved extraordinary success and is here to share their unique business journey with you. We're excited to hear their insights, so let's welcome them to the show. All right, so as this is our rapid fire series, we've got 1 minute or less to answer each question. So in a minute or less, give us the elevator pitch to your story and your life. Go.
Well, it all began in Terrywild Lake Drive in Connecticut, and I ended up getting into radio after a while, after several years of struggling through figuring out who we are, and eventually found radio that enabled me to start working on everything that I know of to be one of the foremost podcast producers out there, I guess you could say. Essentially, that's my backstory. That's in a nutshell, keeping it under 60 seconds as best as I could as an elevator pitch.
So that's fascinating, and I would love to dig a little bit deeper. So tell us a bit more about what you're working on today that you're most passionate about and believe will have the biggest impact.
The thing I'm working on today is helping podcasters make their shows better, first and foremost, using a lot of my radio expertise that I've accumulated since 1997, as well as just making sure that people know more about our podcast production company, other business interests that I'm involved with, but mainly the superpower here with me being podcast production, consultation, showing people how to make it easier, not more difficult, that kind of a thing is what I'm really passionate about, helping people bring their podcast to not the next level, but the next 10 levels.
So this next question is one that every entrepreneur has dealt with. Tell us about a time where you failed. We often say failure is the first step to success. So think about a time where you failed in the past. What happened? What did you learn from it?
Don't take time for granted. There were several times in my voiceover activities that I should have been a little bit more of a promo person, getting the notion out there of what I do and believing in myself in terms of what I'm capable of. That didn't come until later on in life, where confidence is the memory of success, where I've had several successes and then realized, well, hey, I should have been doing this 10 or 15 minutes ago.
That's fascinating. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show to dive deeper into each of these questions. But for now, one thing that I often say is, and I tell this to my employees and the people who work with me and for me all the time, is that when a tree falls in the forest, if nobody hears it, did that tree actually fall? This brings me to this next question. How do you make sure that all of these amazing projects that you're involved in get noticed? What marketing and advertising methods have worked best for you? You've got a minute. Let's go.
Essentially being a practitioner of what I preach, claiming that podcasts are marketing machines, whether you choose to put money behind them, obviously get short form content and clip content out of them, putting money behind those and boosting those, or just depending on organic attraction and using the algorithms on the socials to get attention is a lot of what I do, especially with the company itsyourshow.co, which is the company that I own that produces all these podcasts. It's not just my podcast that gets promoted, but all of my clients' podcasts that get promoted on the channel, and showing the social proof of using our studio, our short form content studio as well, remote capabilities that we're able to put out there. So there's a constant flow and feed of clip content, not just from my own podcasts, but from my clients' podcasts as well.
That was so awesome. We're definitely going to dive deeper into this on a later show. And as we approach our last question, before we ask people how people can get a hold of you, how people can reach you, learn more about the work that you're doing in your company, and we will include all that information in the show notes. What I wanted to ask you is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to your younger self, to our audience, and to somebody, especially somebody who's just starting out in the same niche that you're in, but just doesn't know how to start or get going?
Well, believe in yourself a lot sooner. That way you'll thank yourself. You'll thank us if you do that. Making sure that I would know that what I have to offer is enough. It's more than enough. That to get past the insecurities that came up with me from college a lot quicker, and buy Bitcoin when you first find out about it. Buy about 100 of them.
Amazing stuff. We're going to have to thank our guest today for being a guest on Business Story of the Week. And before we cut out on this episode, I wanted to ask you, how can people get a hold of you? How can people learn more about what you're doing? And how do people engage with you? And we will transcribe this and put it in the show notes for everybody to find.
Everything's available at itsyourshow.co. Nice and rhymey. Itsyourshow.co.